Diego, I need your camera, please. Can you turn it on? Thank you so much. Okay, how was your week? Oh, okay, you had a new haircut. You look good, Diego. Okay, how was your week? Good week, busy week, too much work in the university.
I've been doing a lot of things because I started a new job.
Okay,
So I I'm attending the training and and it's taken a lot of time of the day. So it's been a very busy week.
okay. What about you, Freiber? How was your week?
My week was very busy
Busy as
because I
well.
because I have a lot of work in my pedagogical practice, and also I'm working too. Then I feel very stressful this last week.
Okay, okay. Where is Jeevers? Jeevers, please turn on your camera. Sorry for because of my cam because it just broke. So yeah, we're going to do it without it. But the important thing here is that I can see you. Okay, so that's okay. I'm gonna try to fix it for next encounter. But if it doesn't work, that will be okay. Just seeing you all. Yeah, it is not a problem. So okay, did you receive the information given by Director Liliana, right, about the CIA Part 3 and Part 4? So that's what we're gonna do today. We're going to be practicing a little bit more about that. And yes, we want to also to move to another topic, but that is for the next encounter. So did you all watch the videos that we sent you before, right?
Yes,
Okay,
teacher.
that's good. Okay. Rivera, I need your camera, please. Can you turn it on? Okay, there you go. Okay, you all watched. Okay, Maria, what can you tell me about the first video?
Okay, tutor. The first video was about the third part of the exam that we are talking about, the CAE, and it explains what happens during the 4 minutes that that part of the exam takes. And the teacher explains that it is more or less a discussion between the partners of the exam, and that what is expected is that you have a normal conversation with your partner, trying to giving your opinions and letting to the other person to give their opinions also. And at the end, the teacher explains the common mistakes that you can do and that you have to try not to do during during the exam. More or less, that is the idea.
Thank you. Diego, what can you tell me about the first video?
It's a little bit more or less what Maria just said. He's talking about the FCE, First Certificate in English, and Cambridge Advanced English, the CAE. He is talking about that is the speaking part of those texts. He also mentions that those are identical tests, and basically they are identical. And what happens is that it is a 4 minute part. There we need to engage talking with a partner, and the examiner is going to explain how the activity is going to be done by the two students. And basically he sits back and let the two students to engage in a conversation. And he also mentions that there are some issues to bear in mind when taking this test. And for example, he advises on the agree and disagree aspect. And another thing to bear in mind is helping your partner and when he's not talking enough. And also it's very important to listen the partner, and don't spend too much time only on one item. You need to embrace every item. And it is also important to use relevant language, because and also a very important topic to bear in mind is always give reasons. um, During this test, the idea is that you can back up or support your ideas regarding whatever topic, and so you must take a very relevant language in order to do so.
Good. That was good. Freiber, tell me something about the CIA Part 4 video.
Okay. In addition that my partner said, I think that the video showed with us very important tips to carry out a good performance in the CA exam. Um,
Okay,
the video,
the second video, Freiber, the second one about Part 4. Okay, I
okay.
want you to talk about that one. Yeah, go ahead.
In the second video, we could have the opportunity to observe uh, a real a real context with two persons carry out the exam. I think that it was incredible to see that how they carry out the exam. We can see that they uh, carry out all the tips that the first video gives us. So it's an interesting way to learn how to improve. Okay.
Okay, is it only me? But I'm not hearing to you well. I didn't hear you well. Is it only me or the same for you guys? Did you hear did you hear him well, or it was a little bit like broken?
I listen to him.
I
Yes,
mean,
me too.
the sound. You listen perfectly. Okay, maybe
Yes.
it is. Yeah, it is from my side. So that's okay. Thank you so much, Fravor. Jeebert, are you there? Jeebert,
Okay, teacher.
I want you to talk about the first video, okay? The CIA part 3. What can you tell me about the first video? Jeeber, do you have something to say about part 3, the video that we sent you before through the course internal mail about the CAE speaking exam? Do you have something to say about the exam? Would you like to say something about it? Jeeber? Okay, we
Okay,
will.
teacher.
Okay, go. Yeah, go
Exactly
ahead. Sorry, what did you say? What?
because I don't have in the video no fine um,
Okay,
to
you
see
didn't watch the
the
videos.
video.
You didn't watch the videos. That's what you're saying, right? Because you didn't find the link. That's what you said.
I don't have uh, uh, enough time uh,
Okay.
to see the video.
Okay, that's okay. We're going to move on. Okay. Do you have questions about the procedure for part 3 and part 4, or is everything clear? Is it? I think it's clear, right? Because you have been having too much time to think about it, and also we practice just a little bit in the first encounter. But what about this one? Okay, is it clear, right? Part 3 and part 4, because the idea now is that we're going to practice. We're going to have a practice communicational thing here. So everything is clear. Fravor, everything is clear for you.
I have
Is everything
some
clear?
doubt. I
Okay,
have
yeah, tell me.
some doubts. What is the main uh, difference in between part three and part four? I think that is the same part.
Okay, no, no, it is
What is the main
not.
difference
Okay,
between?
it is not. So for yes, I'll tell you. So for part three, you will have around 4 minutes, okay? And they are divided into two sections, let's say. So the first one, first task, you will have only 2 minutes. Remember that this part, it is in pairs, okay? So it is the very first section here in the CIA speaking exam that you will be able to talk with your partner, okay? So you're not talking to your interlocutor anymore, no
This
longer
is
that,
this is the part
but
three.
you will be, yes, I'm talking about part three. So you're going to be having like a conversation, let's say, okay? Let's put in those words. You will have a conversation with your partner and you will have to make eye contact. Of course, you couldn't do that here because this is just a screen, right? But you have to show interest to what your partner is saying, okay? So it is going to be a conversation. So for example, the interlocutor, the examiner will give you a question with different prompts, different statements, okay? So then you will have 2 minutes in pairs, okay? Not per person, but in pairs to discuss, let's say, to answer the question, okay? After that, the interlocutor will give you one more question and as a conclusion, okay? You will have 1 minute to conclude just the specific question given to you before. Okay, so it is the procedure for part three. In part four, it is kind of easier, okay, because it is only questions related to part three, but you will only have to answer several questions, maybe from 4 to 5 minutes. So that's all. So part four, in my opinion, it's one of the easiest because it isn't that hard to answer those questions. Okay. So that's the difference. And it is also like, it is not that much as a conversation, but it is kind of, okay? So you will have to talk to your partner, but also the interlocutor to intervene at the same time. But that's okay, okay? So it isn't that hard. So we're going to practice right now so that you have an idea of how this is going to be like, okay? So let me just share with you my screen. Fravor, I need your camera, please. I need your camera all the time. So I'm going to share my screen with you. You tell me when you see it, okay? When you see here my screen. We're going to start with another one.
I can see it, teacher.
My screen. Okay, thank you. Diego, do you see? Okay. 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 Fravor, do you see my screen, right? Okay, all of you can see it now. Okay,
Yes,
so this
can see it.
is the procedure, right? So the interlocutor will tell you now. Okay, now I'd like you to talk about something together. Yes. Sorry? Sorry? Okay, okay, you all see it. So let's say I will give you I will give you this. This is a really good one. So we're going to practice right now, okay? I'm going to have a chronometer. Remember, you only have 2 minutes. So I want Diego and Gilbert to be you're going Diego, you're gonna be the candidate A and Fravor, I mean, not Fravor. Gilbert is going to be candidate B, okay? So this is going to be like the first group. And then I will go to Maria
Yes, teacher.
and okay, and Fravor, okay? Let's look for another one because I think this is a little bit difficult. For okay, here we go. We're gonna do this one, okay? Later on, we're doing the next one. So Diego, your candidate A, and Gilbert, your candidate B. So you will have 2 minutes to talk on your own about the following questions and the different prompts. So the question is this: what might people have to consider when making these decisions? You have 2 minutes. Go ahead.
Fuck.
Okay,
I
Diego.
don't see it. I don't see the. Let me
You don't
try
see it.
to.
Okay, wait. I'm going to zoom it.
Uh,
What about now?
yeah, I already see it.
Okay.
All right. What might people have to consider when making these decisions? Well, when choosing the university, you need to bear in mind if it is a public university or is a private university. And also, you need to take into consideration aspects like the financial aspect and how you're going to pay for the tuition and the semester. And when starting a family, you need to consider your current circumstances. If you have a very good job, if you have finished your high school and the university, and you already got a degree, that is important to bear in mind in order to offer your family a very quality lifestyle. And when moving to another country, it is important to learn about the culture and the customs in that country. Also, to bear in mind the fact that if you know the language, in order to be able to communicate with people efficiently. And when getting married, that is something you need to consider for quite a lot, because the person you're going to choose to marry with needs to be a, a person who complements you, and that's very important. And when finding a job, it is important to take a job that you feel comfortable with and that you feel happy doing, and how far away that job is from the place you live, so you don't take too much time getting from your home to there. And
Okay.
those are.
Thank you so much. That was 2 minutes. Thank you so much. Okay. There. Here we go. Let me just clarify something. That was so good, Diego. Don't worry that I stopped you. That is going to happen in the exam, so that's okay. You
Mhm.
did good. I
Yeah,
mean, you
no,
didn't do something wrong. That's good. So what you have to remember is that you're in a conversation, okay? So please, you have to bring into the conversation, in this case, Fred, Giver, okay? So you
forget
talked
that.
on your own. Yes, you talked on your own the whole 2 minutes. So that is too much. That is going to give you a really low score, a really low mark.
Mhm.
So you have to pay attention to it. I think you will do great. That's why we're here. This is to practice, okay? So you did really good. You started really well, okay? Choosing a university, giving your arguments, your ideas, that was good. You developed your ideas. That's awesome. So, but you have to remember, okay? It is work, a pair work. So you will have to work with your partner, okay? So when you're done, let me just say this and I will ask you, okay? When you're done, then the interlocutor will ask you one more question and will give you 1 more minute, okay? So let's say that you're done, and the interlocutor, maybe he will say, okay, which one of these five jobs, right? Or, I mean, this is not the job part. Which one of these five decisions do you think is the hardest and why? So there is to reach the conclusion, okay? So, but you have to remember, you will only have 1 minute, so it isn't that much. So you have to do it on your own, okay? Let's switch, okay? I will move to Maria and Freiber, okay? Okay, we're going to stick to this one, okay? Let's make it easy for you guys. Then we're going to switch the topic. So now Maria is candidate A and Freiber you're B. So you have 2 minutes to talk on your own about what might people have to consider when making these decisions, okay? So you have 5 different prompts there. You have 2 minutes starting right now. Go ahead.
Okay. About these topics, the first thing that I think when I saw them is that all them has to do with future. Everything that these decisions can change is your future. So maybe in all of them, the first thing that you have to think about is about your future, what you want to do, what you're expecting for about your future. I think, for example, that finding a job is something that is important because it is going to it is something that is going to change the way you face life. If you have a job, it can make everything about your daily routines, for example, and the way you manage your time, the way you manage the reality that you have every day with your family, with your friends, and the time you're going to invest in the everyday life within the work. So it's something that you have to change before to finding a job. That is something that can give you time for all the aspects of your life. And normally it is difficult because you have many things to manage when you are working. While in the other side, when you are choosing a university, maybe you can be centered more in what you want to do, what you want to learn. That is different than a job that you only have to think the most of the time about time. And when you're choosing a university, you have to think about your time, but also what you want to learn. I don't know what you think, Faber, if you agree about what happens when we choose a university.
Okay, I agree with you. Um, for the first thing, when we are finding a job or choosing a university, the two, or only
Okay,
finding a job.
thank
Or
you
you're
so much.
choosing.
That was 2 minutes. Thank you so much.
Oh my God.
Okay.
So,
So yeah, now you got the idea, right? You got the picture here. So that was good. Thank you so much. You're doing a really good job. So this
okay,
is yeah, this is why we're here. We're practicing. So you have to remember it is pair work. You have a partner, okay?
okay,
And you only have 2 minutes, okay? So if
okay,
you talk 1 minute and a half, or let's say 1 minute and 35 seconds, 1 minute and 35 seconds, then you will only leave your partner 15 seconds. So it isn't fair, okay? You have
okay,
to, yeah, you did really good. That was good. But also, I'm a little bit worried about the time, okay?
okay,
You have to remember it is pair work. Thank you so much. That was good. Also, you have to remember you don't need to rush through all the topics, okay? You don't need to start here. Okay, choosing a university. People have to consider when choosing a university how much money they have. Starting a family. Oh my goodness, they need to consider if the person they're marrying with he has money or not. Does he have money? No. Okay, moving to another country. Let's say yeah, you don't need to do that. Okay, you don't need to rush through all the topics. Okay, you need to analyze. So that's what you have to do there. And if you don't have more time to talk about the five of them, then you could also talk about four, and that will be okay. If you analyze them, talk about them in a deep way, so it isn't a problem, okay? Don't rush through all of them, okay? It is okay. Remember, it is a conversation. Maybe you could start saying something about university, and your partner will say, "I agree with you," and I also think that getting married and your partner will help you moving to another topic, okay? And then, yeah, it is kind of like back and forth, okay? It is you talk, I talk, then you talk, then I talk. But you have to remember, you only have um, 2 minutes, so it isn't that much, okay? So that is important. But you did really good because you're developing your ideas. That's awesome. But if you take the whole 2 minutes for your own, that is going to give you a really low score, okay? The examiner, the tutor there. I don't know who's going to be the tutor. For some of you, I do because you registered with me. But yeah, the tutor there, he's going to give you a really low score. So you have to pay attention to that, okay? To the time. But it is okay, okay? Because we're practicing. So we're going to do it again, and I will be here with you, Maria and Freiber, okay? We're going to do it again. Same thing. Okay. So you have 2 minutes to talk on your own about what might people. Okay, something good also. Sorry, let me just say this to you. Remember to answer the question, okay? That is really good. Don't describe what is a university or that, oh, it is really hard to find a job. That's not the question, okay? The question here is what might people have to consider when making this decision? What do people need to take into account, okay, when making those decisions, okay? That's the question. So you stick to the question and then you will answer it, okay? So, okay, we're going to stay with you, Maria and Freiber, okay? So same question. What might people have to consider when making these decisions? Okay, you have 2 minutes. Go ahead.
Okay, I start again, tutor. I,
Yes.
okay. Okay, so about this question, I can say that, for example, starting a family is something that can change your life, and that it is necessary that you think about what you want to do for you and the people that is going to be around you, your husband or your wife, and the possibility that you will have children. So you have to think about the future for the long term. I don't know if you agree, Favor.
I completely agree with you because the people need to be sure to do it. Um, this is a decision for a lifetime. Then it's very important that the people are thinking in starting a family, uh, be sure to do it. And regarding to, I think that is linking with getting married because I think getting married we need to do before to starting a family um, because it's important to establish a good base in our family. What do you think about this, Maria?
Yes, I was thinking about before you said that that getting married is something important that before starting a family, because when you decided to get married, it could be positive if you think before getting married what do you want for that marriage, if you want a family or not, if you want to have children or not. And also, for example, thinking about this, I think that moving to another country could be part of this, for example, because sometimes getting married could mean that moving to another country. uh, do you think that it could be linked, or I'm wrong?
No, I'm totally with you.
Okay, thank you so
Um,
much. So one more question for you. Which one of these do you think is the hardest decision to make?
Mm, in my opinion, starting a family, because it is in the other decisions that you could make, you're alone, or it depends only for you. But when you're starting a family, there are other people included, so you have to think a lot, and you have to be very careful about your decisions, because these are going to affect other people and the future also of other people. So I think for me it is the hardest one.
for me, the hardest decision is getting married because we need to be sure to do it. Personally, I don't like a lot the idea, but I think that maybe in the future I want to
Okay.
establish a family. But for me, it's the
Okay, thank you
hardest
so
decision.
much. Thank you so much. So that was all. Thank you for coming to this exam, and this is your grade, and so on. Okay, that's the idea. Okay, I just want to
Okay.
give you the whole idea. So you will have 2 minutes to talk on your own about this here in the screen, and then you will have one more question. Okay, one more question, and you will have only 1 minute for you both. Okay, to reach a conclusion. That is for concluding something. Okay, so there you have to like sum up everything that you said before, and I think you did well. Okay, but remember, you only have 2 minutes in the for the first part, and for the second, only one more minute. Okay. So thank you so much, Freiber. You did something good. I completely agree. That is good. Okay. You don't need to say always I agree, I disagree, I agree, I disagree. No, that's also good. I completely agree. You could also say I absolutely agree. Okay, that is also, yeah, that is also part of it. You could also say fair enough. Okay, that is something that you could say. And there are many ways to, yeah, to agree or disagree. Okay, of course, You could also say, I see your point, and I can say this or whatever. Being honest, I think the same, or okay, that was really good. Thank you so much. Okay, remember, if you only talk about 1 minute of starting a family, then you're missing your time. Okay, you're wasting, sorry, your time, because 1 minute only about starting a family is too much. So maybe you could say 3 lines. Okay, maybe 2 lines, 3 lines about getting married. For example, people have to consider when getting married if if the other if the other one is the soulmate. Do they get along together? It is the same like culture, or do they have the same interests? And at the same time, I think moving to another country, that is a good idea. Okay, you don't have to develop a really like big idea, like a huge idea. No, because you only have 2 minutes. Okay, don't rush through all the topics. That is important, but also do not take long in only one topic. That is the other thing you have to bear into mind. Okay, you have to be in a balance. Okay, so maybe you could say three lines, maybe four. It all depends on how fast you can talk. Okay, if you talk fast, really fast, and good pronunciation and also intonation and so on, you could do more than 4 lines or maybe five. Okay, but that's just a just a tip. Okay, remember, we say talking to, we don't say talking with. Okay, we say speaking with. I don't even remember who said it, but that's for you all. Okay, we say talking to. Okay, talking to someone, and we say speaking with. Okay, that's something for you to take into account. And also, Diego did something good before. He talked about the finances. That was so good. Okay, that is a really good argument. Okay, so remember not only to answer the question like lightly. Okay, but if you do it cleverly, that is going to give you a really high mark. Okay, if you say something really clever that it is coherent what you're saying, that is going to give you a high mark. Okay, but you all did good. Okay, do you have questions about this part 3, because we are to move to the next one? Is it all clear for you now, or do you want us to practice just one more time? And I am leaving you the decision here. Okay, if you don't say anything, I will move on. So what do you think? Do we practice maybe one more time this part?
I think that for me it's clear, tutor. I don't know.
Okay, for Diego is also clear, right?
It's also clear for me. I think
That's
we
good.
figured it out.
Okay, so remember the time, and also bring your partner into the conversation. Okay, and maybe there, if your partner is not bringing you into it, you could intervene. Okay, politely. Maybe you see that your partner is not giving you the time to talk. So you could also, when he pauses, you could say, "Oh, that's what you say. So interesting. Let me say this and this and this." Okay, you could do that. Maybe you will have a partner like this. Maybe he wouldn't be a bad person or a mean person. Maybe he's nervous and he's talking all the time. Okay, that maybe is going to happen. So you gotta be ready for it. Okay, so we're going to move. Okay, part 4. Okay, so let's practice a little bit more in this part here. So part 4 is easy. I think is one of the easiest. Okay, the first part is also easy, but this one you only need to answer some questions. Okay, remember the questions are going to be related to part 3. In this case, we're not doing that. This is not the case, but there in the real exam, if you talked about finances last part 3, then the topic for part 4, it will be about also financial area. Okay, so that is for you to have in mind. Okay, so remember, here it is 4 to 5 minutes, more or less, and then here you can develop your ideas. Okay, more than the part 3. Okay, here you could also give also, you can show the tutor or the interlocutor how good grammar you have. okay, and the range of vocabulary, a wide range of vocabulary. So you have to take advantage from the questions, okay? For example, this one is really good, so you could talk about many things here. So we're going to do it in partners, okay, again. So, yeah, let's switch a little bit. Okay, Maria is going to be with Gilbert, and Diego, you're going with, yes, Diego, you're going with Freiber, okay? Let's see how it works. Remember that if your partner doesn't talk a word, okay, you could also save the day. You know what I mean, right? Okay, it wouldn't rest you point. Let's say that your partner is not talking anything. He didn't. I mean, he's not saying a word because maybe he's never nervous, or maybe he hasn't had. I mean, he doesn't have the English, okay, to talk. So you could also save the day there. You could talk on your own, and the interlocutor will see that you're not taking from your partner time, but you're fitting the task. Okay, so be ready for that. Maybe your partner is not going to talk too much, so it isn't bad for you to talk. There, you have to talk, okay, because you have 2 minutes. Remember, it is better work. What you need to do is to say, what do you think? Or maybe, do you agree? Then if he doesn't talk politely, you could say, yeah, well, I also think, and then you keep going with your argument, okay? That maybe is going to happen for several of you, okay? Your partner, maybe he wouldn't know too much English, so yeah, you have to be ready for that, okay? So we're gonna move on. So we're going to start with Diego, okay? This is part 4. Diego and Freiber, okay? I have a question for you. Here you can talk, okay, when you're done answering the question, stay there because the interlocutor will ask you one more and then maybe one more, okay? So that's okay. If you finish answering and if maybe it wasn't a long answer, but neither a short one, that's it. Leave it there. The interlocutor, the examiner will give you another question. So perfect, okay? So Diego and Freiber, okay, which is more important for young people nowadays? Going to college or getting a job?
I think that going to college, because when it comes to a job, you can get whatever job, but going to college is going to define the future, your future for you. That is to say, and the future jobs you're going to apply to um, will be based on your career, not whatever job. So and Fravor, uh, um, Fravor. I don't know if you think the same.
Of course, but to be honest, I think that it depends on the situation of the person, of the young people, because sometimes there are persons that have several problems and they can't study. Um, but by the other hand, there are persons that have a good situation, don't have a problem, familiar problems, and they can study. So I think that depends of the situation. What what do you think about this, Diego?
Well, I would say that it all depends on what you want for your future. Uh, your needs when you're young are different than when you are older. For example, when you're 20, your priorities are quite different than those when you are 30 or 40, even 50 and 60. Your priorities change according to your position in that timeline. So yeah, the priorities for a very young person when it's finishing high school should be always to continue their studies. As you said, in the financial aspect is very important because there are wealthy people who don't think about the money in order to pay for their education.
Okay.
However,
Another question for you. Some people say that students have an easy life. What do you think?
it depends. It depends if the person has to work in order to pay for their studies. Sometimes it's a very hard job, and because it also it might happen that you don't have the time available because you have to work. So working becomes a very huge part, very important for you. So it depends. If the person doesn't have to work, you might say yes. However, if that's the case, he has to work, then that would be very difficult. I don't know, Fravor, what's your stance on that?
I completely agree with you. Since my own experience as a student, I know that the students have a difficult life. For example, with me, I need to work very hard, and I need to study at the same time. I need to help my family. I live in a very small town, and here is very difficult to find a work to finding a work. So I know that I think that the students have
Okay.
a hard life.
Okay. Thank you. Thank you. That was good. Okay, that was good. Diego, you did a really good job. You brought into Fravor, right? You brought him into the conversation. That was really good. And yeah, you also used well your time. And yeah, Fravor, you need to develop a little bit more your idea, okay? That is going to be something for you to practice, okay? Develop the idea. You said
Okay.
something really good. That was really good, but I was waiting for you to keep going, okay?
Okay.
So
I
practice on
need to
that, okay?
practice. Yeah, I gotta practice.
Exactly. But you did really good. And Gilbert, I mean Diego, I'm messing with your names. Diego, that was so good. You, I mean, you spoke maybe 3 to 4 lines, really good ones. Also, you said that it is more important. The first one, you said that it is that your career is going to be like the support or the basis for your job. That is good. That was so good. Okay. And also you, this is not a debate, okay? Because in a debate someone will say, well, that is actually not likely, because there are many people who have jobs that they didn't even study that specific thing or topic or whatever. But what you said, that was so good, Diego, because you said a statement and then you developed the idea. Perfect. That is good. Remember the time, but you did well this in this one. So that's the idea. This is easiest, right? I mean, not the easiest, but this is one of the easiest part of the exam. Easier than the last one, easier than the part three, because in part three you have to remember the procedure. It is not only question, but you have different prompts, and also you have one more question that you are not seeing to it. So that's so good. So thank you so much. So we're going with you, Maria, and with Gilbert. So let's see how this is going to be. Okay. Do you think it's important to study academic subjects, or should students only learn vocational skills?
Okay,
Yes,
who starts? Do you want to start, Gilbert?
or
I can hear you well, Gilbert. Okay, I'm
Yeah,
going to
you
start.
can do it. Go ahead.
repeat this.
Okay. Okay, I think that both things are very important, because I think if you want to learn something, you need an structure, and I think what that gives that structure is the academic information, because you can have a vocational attitude, but if you don't have the structure, you can be a bad professional. So I think using both sides, one for creating a personal and deep structure about what you're going to do, and the other one for developing the skills that will help you to do your work in a better way. I don't know if you agree, Gilbert.
Yes. I think it's important study academy such as because we are because more perfect we can hit a higher level of knowledge
Yes.
because if we only take a vocational skill, excuse me, we are only uh, yes important prefer only
Yes.
Okay. Okay. Who should pay for students doing university courses?
Um, I think that it's okay if a student pay almost a part of his or her studies courses. But I think that, for example, in careers as teaching, for example, when you're going to teach, for example, in places in governmental schools, for example, I think in that cases the government should pay a part or should give some type of support to the student because he's going to work in a governmental place. So I think it's important that maybe the government try to protect and direct and support that study that the person is going to do. What do you think, Dibert? Is you consider that I am wrong or I am okay in my in what I am saying? Do you hear me?
repeat please.
Do you think that I'm saying that in the cases, for example, when you are studying for to becoming a teacher, for example, it could be useful and also necessary if the government paid a part of your of your studies. Do you think that? Do you agree with that, or do you think it's not a good idea?
Okay.
Okay, thank you so much. That was good. So that was good. Thank you, Maria. Jiber, thank you for trying so hard. You tried hard, and that was good. You did a good job. Yeah, I know it's a bit difficult. It's a bit, yeah, a little bit hard, but thank you so much for trying hard. Okay, keep doing that. Okay, keep on that. Thank you so much, Maria. You did a really good job. Okay, because yeah, you brought him into the conversation. You also provided many arguments, many ideas. The time was also good, and yeah, you could have been talking more time, but you also right you tried to get into the conversation, Jiver. It didn't work that well, but at the same time, yeah, you could
Okay.
intervene. Okay, you could intervene somehow because remember you have time. So if your time runs away, so there is going to be a problem also for you. But that's okay. Politely, you could intervene. Okay. I didn't intervene because I wanted to listen to Gilbert. Okay. But yeah, the time took more than than the scheduled one or than the set one. But that was so good. So let me just give you some tips, okay? Remember that for part 3, you don't need to rush through all the topics, okay? That is really important, okay? Maybe you're not able to talk about the 5 different topics in part 3. That's okay. Talk about 4, maybe. But develop your ideas and analyze what is in there, okay? And also, you have to show interest for your partner's idea, okay? React to what your partner just said. And if you see, maybe you will have two different things. Maybe your partner is not going to let you talk. You could intervene politely. If you see that he is not allowing you to talk, you could intervene politely, okay? But then if you see that he doesn't speak at all, you could also try to bring him into the conversation, but at the same time, that is up to you because I mean, it is only you there. So you have to also try to show your the best English that you have, and also try, yeah, to be polite with your partner, because maybe your partner is not gonna, yeah, it's not gonna answer properly to the question. Okay, but that was really really good. Okay. Do you have questions about part 4, or is it all clear? Raver, do you have question? Diego, do you have question?
Yes, I have a question.
Go ahead.
What can I do when a partner doesn't answer the questions, or myself can't answer the question when for example, when I am locked my mind in the exam. I would like that you give me some tips to improve this
Okay.
part of the speaking when I
What
lock
you're
my
saying,
mind.
yeah, you're saying that if the interlocutor will ask you a question and you don't know what it is, then not to be blocked, right? That's what you said. So something really good, okay? Remember that it is not going to be face to face. So that is your advantage, right?
It's
Because you could also,
it's
yes,
online.
it is going to be online, of course. It is going
My
to be
God.
through Skype. So that
What?
is, yeah, that is your advantage.
Okay.
So yeah, remember to practice. So my advice for you is to practice the
Yeah,
more you can. So you
I'm
can go
practice a
to,
lot.
yeah, okay, that's good, to the website. You could also practice with someone else. Maybe if Diego has some time in his week, you could get along together and then you can practice a little bit. That would be good. Okay, if you don't have that possibility, it is okay, you could practice alone. But first of all, you have to listen carefully. That will be my advice for you. If you listen carefully, you will understand what the tutor is asking you. And then if you don't understand a word in there, in the sentence or in the question, you could also ask. Okay, you could admit, sorry, please, what is, let's say, getting a job? Please, can you tell me in other words what it is? That's okay, okay? It is allowed to ask, okay? If you don't understand, you could also let your partner start talking. If you don't understand the question, let your partner start talking. If you see that he's really good, I mean, you're good as well. But if you see that he got the question, okay, let him. Okay, why don't you start, my friend? I don't know. You could say something like that. Please, do you want to start? Yeah, I let you to begin. I mean, that's kind of tricky, but it is okay. Okay, you could let your partner begin with the answering of the questions. Okay, and also I will give you some links. Okay, later on I will give you some links to practice. Okay, and so that you can be ready for the exam. But be relaxed, okay? Because we are practicing here. So if you're stressed there, it is going to be a mess. You have to be relaxed, okay? You have to sit well on your chair, open like position, okay? And yeah, be normal, like talking to your partner, or I don't know, to your friends, or to a friend, or to your mom, or yeah, I don't know. Be relaxed, okay? Bring a cup of water, or I don't know, something to drink. That is also good for your tongue, for your mouth, for your throat, okay? And yeah, but practice. If you practice, you will master it, okay? you will get to know how to manage the exam. Okay, that will be okay. Let me just finish with this because let me just ask you again. Is it okay? Do you have any other question, doubt, comment? It is okay. Okay. So let me give you one more tip. Okay. Do not get sidetracked. Okay. That means do not be far away from the real question. So let's say, let me give you just an example. Let's say that the question here it is this: what might people have to consider when making this decision? Remember to stick to the question. Please don't go anywhere else. You have to be there, okay? So I want you to be ready for that because you're doing it a lot. So I need you to be ready, okay? If the question is, what might people have to consider? You have to answer that specifically, okay? Remember to be there, okay? Not to get sidetracked, but to be like far away from the real topic. You have to pay attention to it, okay? That is something for you to know. Also, next online meeting will be about debates, okay? So now here in the chat box, I'm going to give you the give you the topic, okay? The argument for you to work on it. So I want remember that in debates we have a pro team and also a con team. So I will make up the pro team right now. Let me give you. So who's going to be the pro team? So pro team going to be Diego. And Giver. Okay. We're going to do it. Good.
Okay,
So
teacher.
there you go. I already posted here the topic or the argument. Okay, so con team is gonna be you, Maria, and Freiber. Okay. Okay. This is for next encounter. Okay. We're going to do a activity. It's not gonna take that much, but we're going to practice a little bit of this. Okay. So the pro team have young people taking on responsibility will improve today's society. Okay, that's for Diego and Gilbert. And con team will have young people can't carry out responsibilities because they are inexperienced, and that is for Maria and Freiber. Okay, is it all clear? That is for next encounter. And also you have to remember to take the listening quizzes, okay, that we have in that model app. Remember to take that because that is 10 points of the 20 that we are grading you. So you have to be ready, okay? Did you have your debate already? Your debate? No. I'm with Diego, right, Diego? You're with me. Is it right? Yes. What about you, Maria?
Yeah, I'll be meeting you this Tuesday.
Right. Yes, you're right. What about you, Maria? When do you have your debates?
I did it. I already did it.
How was it for you?
It was very nice. It was a very good experience, and it was interesting.
Okay, good. And Freiber, did you already have it?
No, I didn't.
When? When are you going to have your debate encounter or
Debate.
your debate?
Wait a moment. The Tuesday.
Tuesday, okay.
Uh-huh.
That's good. I think you're going to do great, okay? You're going to do a great job because you have a really good English. You also know how to structure your sentences and you had a wide range of vocabulary. So that's quite good. So that's it. Thank you so much for coming. So I'll see you next Sunday and practice. Practice a lot.
Okay, Tutu. Thank you
Right?
very much.
Okay, teacher. Thank you.
Sunday, yeah. Bye bye.
Goodbye,
See you, my
everybody.
friend. If you have
Very good
questions,
week to everybody.
Thank
yes, don't hesitate to write to me, okay? See you.